engagement. As you know, this is an initiative by CDS Africa to convene policymakers, experts, and the general public to discuss issues of national interest. And today we are seated to discuss, or better still, assess the implementation of the no fees stress. Now, as we know, this initiative was officially launched last week by President Mahama, and the purpose is to ease the financial burden of first-year students of the various public or tertiary public students, which includes colleges of education, nursing colleges, and technical university. And so today we are seated to assess how this implementation or how this initiative is rolling out. We'll be looking at the efficiency as well as access to registration and other issues. I've been joined here by students from the University of Ghana and UPSA. I'll let them introduce themselves, but before they introduce themselves, I'll start by saying my name is Celestina Damwa. I'm in charge of communications here at CDS Africa. So we'll delve straight into the conversation by beginning with introduction of our panelists. So I'll start with you, my dear gentleman.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Your name, the institution you are representing, and indicate whether you are a first-year student or a continuing student.
All right, please. My name is Paul Sebe from the University of Ghana.
Okay.
And I'm a level 100 student.
Good. My lady.
All right. I'm also Abby Jessica from the University of Ghana, also a first-year student.
Hello, Frank Yuhuye from the University of Ghana, level 100 student.
Thank you. My name is Ebenezer John Ahin. I'm a teaching and research assistant with the Department of Political Science. Thank you.
I'm Principal, student of the University of Professional Studies.
I'm Abdul Razak, level 100, accounting student from UPSA, University of Professional Studies.
Good.
I am George Shen from the University of Ghana, level 100 student.
Okay. Last
Hey,
but not
I'm
least.
Pelyaira Dugwe from the University of Ghana, level 100 students.
Good. So we have 9 students who are all first-year students in the various public tertiary institutions here in Accra. Now, as we know, President Mahama indicated that about 15,000 of these students have been fully reimbursed. As to whether that is true, we'll be finding out from our participants here this evening. You watching us live on Facebook or listening to us on X, you also have the opportunity to join in the conversation by dropping your comments, your thoughts, your submissions in the comment section. And as we progress, I'll be reading them out so we can all hear. With that said, we will now delve into the conversation. So I'll start with you. You're very close to me. So tell me how you heard of the initiative, and when you heard about it, what was your understanding of the initiative?
Okay, well, I think I heard about it one morning when I went to visit my friend here, Frank, in his room, and he was mentioning about these new government policies that the government had brought about. So he explained that it's a policy that has helped us ease the burdens of first-year students when we are coming in. Because usually when we come in, we spend a lot on accommodation, things to prep for our schools, and all that. And then to have this actually taken care of for us, it actually helps our parents a lot.
Good.
So my first thought of it was that actually it's a good initiative because there are a lot of students that were able to do so exceptionally well during the WASI period. During the last year's examination, of course, and then they didn't get the opportunity to come to university.
Okay.
Some of them just wanted a way to start and then find their way when they get to campus. So now that President Mahama has given out this initiative to help students, they can now get started and see what the school entails and how they can prepare towards their stay in whatever institution they choose to be.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you too. So, my lady, how did you hear of the initiative? And when you heard about it, what was your understanding of the initiative?
Okay, thank you very much. So I had it in my class group.
Okay.
A link was posted for us to register for the no fee stress policy. But personally, I already had it via the news on TV3. Most of my colleagues were in doubt as to it being a loan or it being a very low policy. an initiative to create a group to help students understand what it actually meant.
So you created
A WhatsApp
group to educate.
Yes, my colleagues.
Is it to say you better understood what the policy stood for?
Yes, based on my personal research as well.
Okay.
Yes. So most of my colleagues thought it was actually very long we were going for. So I took up the initiative to create a group and then give them day-to-day updates about the policy.
Okay. Yes, gentlemen, how did you hear of it, and did you understand it, or do you even understand what it stands for?
Okay. Okay. I first learned about the initiative from the news, as my sister yes said. My initial understanding of it was that after we gain admission, after a while we would fill out a form,
Okay.
and then our fees would be given back to us. But I had some issues with the portal.
Okay, so hold on, we'll
Okay.
address the registration processes. So.
Okay, so for me, I follow electoral issues a lot
Okay,
because I'm a teaching assistant and I need examples for my students.
sure.
So I actually first learned about the initiative during the NDC's Youth Manifesto launch.
Okay.
Yes, so I just heard about it, listened to the details of it, and then started to follow through. So when they came into government, I was just waiting for the day they would say, "Oh, portal is open for students to turn in their applications." So I actually, since I am not a student, I was wishing them well that the government will keep its promise to them. Yeah.
So I'll come to you. How did you hear of the policy or initiative?
Like you said, I heard it during the NDC campaign
Okay,
that the president was going to cover the fees of
first year
first year
students.
students.
Okay.
So during, I think it was the last month, then a friend of mine told me that, oh, they started sharing the link for the reimbursements.
Okay, Anne.
Okay, so unlike others, I really heard it from my parents.
Your parents?
Yes, I was priorly informed about it before, so we had this complication where I didn't pay because we were told that the fees were going to start, but then they didn't really initialize it then. Then a month passed. All of a sudden, people say that links have been shared. There are rumors spreading that Mahama has put the initiative and it's coming. Links are professionally going to students' WhatsApp pages and accounts saying that there's reimbursement process. I am literally neutral on it because although it's going to be helpful for students, it comes with complications.
So go into that a bit later. So you heard it from your parents, and you understood at the time, or it was over time that you got to really understand what the initiative seeks to do?
It was over time.
Over time. Gentlemen.
All right, thank you. As my senior brother said, I was also following the NDC manifesto, and yes, when we were admitted into the school, everyone was enthusiastic. We were all looking forward to receiving this fee. The President of the Republic of Ghana promised that. So we were all waiting, and then very, like, sometime it was to our notice that, oh, this is the link you're supposed to, follow and fill the necessary form or the details in there you're supposed to fill it, and then so that when the time is due, our funds will be dispersed to us. And then speaking now, a lot of students have received this, and I was just
Hold on. We'll get into that, but we just wanted to know how you got to hear of it. So, Pearl, tell us.
Okay, so I also heard it during NDC's manifesto. Initially, I thought it was one of their policies, like those near manifestos. I really didn't know about it. I thought it was a false something. But then I took time to do some research, and I got to know that, it wasn't just a mere statement they made during their manifestos. And yeah, I would say it's been helpful. Yeah,
Okay.
it's been helpful.
It's been helpful. I'll still stay on you. So now take us through the processes. Of course, you all talk about a link was shared in some groups. So take us through the process. I do not want you to highlight on the challenges. We'll get to the challenges bit, but first take us through how the process was in terms of registration.
Okay, so first of all, I didn't get the link for my research and asking from few friends. Then a friend of mine sent me the link to register. You tap on the link, go to the portal, and then you'll be asked to fill in your personal details and then take a selfie. So when I got to the selfie aspect, I thought it was this fraud or scam something, because all this just about selfie, I was like, wow. But then when I went through, after I was done, I was asked if I had a GCB account, and then if I didn't have one, I would have to create it. So I was told that they would create it for me if I didn't have a GCB account. So I called the office. When I called, like, it's in batches, like it will get to my turn, it will be created for me. So I waited the GCB account. Yes, please. So after a while, I had to go to the main branch in my vicinity. So I went there and everything, like, it wasn't as I expected though. I thought it would just be like, you go to the bank, you tell them you're registering for open an account with the no fee stress policy, and then you be allowed. But then it wasn't quite easy.
So was this done in a day?
No.
It was over a period?
Over a period.
How many days, how many weeks before you even got the opportunity to go to GCB to open an account?
Okay, so after the call, it took me 2 days to go to the GCB bank. And when I went there to commence with everything, continue and then even end, it took like 4 or 5 days.
The creation of the account?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And I had to follow up because the lady I met at the bank was like, she said, if I don't follow up, if I don't check, then it wouldn't be that quick.
Okay.
So initially I had the notion that the deadline was somewhere June 13th. So I told the lady that I needed to do this. I didn't hear of it on time, and I needed to open the account before the deadline. She was like, she helped me. So she even helped. She called, have you submitted this? Have you submitted that?
So you would say that the whole registration process was flexible or tedious?
It was tedious.
It was tedious. Was it the same with you? Were you also required to have a GCB account? Was that the singular requirement before you can access the whole process? Or yours was different?
Yes, please. I was required to get
the GCB
account. So I did my own phone through the GCB mobile banking app. And then I think less than an hour I was able to
create your own account. So are you already banking with GCB? Or
I was not having any account with GCB, but through the mobile banking app I was able to get one.
So you were able to do this within just a day?
Yes, please.
And so for you, would you say that your process was flexible compared to what she had shared?
Yes, I would say it was flexible.
It took you just a day to complete all the requirements. You didn't have issues with the part where you're supposed to take a selfie?
I took the selfie. Everyone is supposed to take the selfie. Okay. But you see, when we started, everyone was okay. I want to have one, so let me rush with it. So then, let's say we were having a kind of network problem. So the network wasn't favoring us, so we had to take time. They will send you a verification code through either SMS or a phone call or something, but it wasn't coming because the network was not good. So I waited for like 5 minutes before the code came. So I think that was the only time I had a problem with creating the account.
Okay, so yours was smooth sailing. Yes. Would you say yours was equally smooth sailing, or you also encountered some challenges?
Unfortunately for me, I have yet to or do anything with community link. I did hear from the people who have tried that they would require the Ghana card as well. And then GCB employees have ranks at the school, and then they are getting students to join in due to the initiative needing the GCB cards and things. So I haven't experienced such. So I'm neutral.
So you haven't registered? You haven't registered?
Well, I have registered. I paid the fees, but for the reimbursement,
yes.
I have been to try.
Okay. Is it the same with you?
The registration process was flexible.
It was flexible. Take us through your registration process.
After I filled the information needed, during that day, I just went to the bank around Ogun City Mall and
you created an account and everything. Was it smooth sailing for you or it was tedious?
Well, for me, I haven't been able to do the registration.
You haven't?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have a Ghana card yet.
You don't
have a Ghana card yet. So
you don't have the Ghana card. So
yeah.
What was the alternative given you?
Well, we could. By the time I heard about that alternative to the to my situation, it was then a little too late because then my parents were not around for me to reach them.
So what alternative was given to you that you could use your student ID, or what was the alternative given in place of the Ghana card?
Given to us was that we could have a third party. So for students under 18, we could have a third party where our funds or our fees would be reimbursed into our parents' accounts on our behalf. Sorry.
And so you haven't gone through the process?
No, so I cannot actually see anything much about this. I'm yet to experience it for myself.
Okay, good. So he has a peculiar case. You've registered.
Yes.
You've gone through the process.
Yes, please.
Was it tedious? Was it flexible?
No, please. It was very, very flexible.
Okay.
I finished under 30 minutes because I also used the GCB banking app, the mobile banking app.
Okay. Okay. You.
Yeah. Mine wasn't tedious.
Okay.
Yeah, I went through the portal when it was first created, when it was first released to the public. Yeah, so I input my Ghana card, took the selfie, filled out the form. When we reached the option for the GCB bank, like I selected that. That's when I did not have a bank account. So
with GCB.
Yes, please. And then my alert popped up saying that I am not 18, so I cannot create a bank account.
You are not 18?
Yes, please.
You are not 18?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'm 18 on the 21st.
Of this year?
Yes, of this month.
This month?
Yes, please.
So in essence, you are 18.
Oh yeah, but the system did not see it in that way.
Okay.
So I made my way to their branch at the Lagos City Mall. Yeah, and then I went there. I sat in a very long queue. There were a lot of students there at the time. And then the form I was supposed to fill out before creating the DM account. It's about 5 pages thick.
The forms?
Yes.
The same with all of you? Yours is different?
I used the mobile app.
You used the mobile app. You went there in person, so it was a similar situation. Okay.
Yeah. So I started filling out the form. Then I went to one bankers and I asked them my question. What about those under 17? And then
18.
And I was told that I should give down my phone number so they will get back in touch with me. I waited for a while. I received no information. So I went back, and then I was told that we could be addressed by the government on that issue. So recently, they added an option where you can create a third party, like your parents, so that your account can be linked to them.
Okay.
So I was able to complete the process.
Okay, good. So I'll come to you, TA. Give him the microphone. You being a TA, obviously this initiative is not for you. But of course you've heard the concerns that they have shared. His case, he is underage. He doesn't have a Ghana card. Would you say, did any of your students come to you with their concerns? And what was that major concern that kept repeating?
Okay, so I would first of all say that I think the process was easier for some people or for some students and also difficult or lengthy for others. And it all boils down to the fact that information dissemination wasn't adequate.
So
there wasn't much education on that.
You think awareness creation was done poorly?
Yes, yes. And I think since it's a pilot program, it's actually expected. So it was expected. But some students reached out to me, and because I am not a beneficiary, I didn't really pay attention to the process involved.
Yeah.
Even though later on, based on the entries I got, it compelled me to do my investigations and my research on them. But I think that those who were able to follow through with the digital process, the online application process, they had quite a smooth experience. But there was a student who told me that she had actually created, she had downloaded the bank's
The GCB mobile bank app.
And she had tried creating an account. So she wanted to, she was supposed to get, I don't know whether a confirmation from them or something, and she didn't get. So she had to go to the branch around campus. And when she got there, she was asked to, she was told that she didn't do the process in the right way. She got something wrong, and so she had to go through another stress in order to ensure that whatever she has done is accurate. And that was a very lengthy process for her.
Okay.
So she had to follow up like she had to do. And so I think that going forward, if the awareness creation would be much
intensified, yeah.
Yes. And then I also think, in as much as the information was put out there earlier, there was trust issues on the side of the student.
Okay.
So it is a key contributor to this back and forth, because assuming she had taken the initiative early, she had taken up the initiative earlier, she wouldn't have probably had to go through these issues of having to fast track things. So yes, based on the experience, I would say that some had a smooth. Those who tried to follow up earlier had a smooth experience, whilst those who had trust issues also got such issues. So yeah.
Okay, good. So the Ghana card was a barrier for him. So because of Ghana card, you haven't gone through the process.
Yes, please.
Okay. Do you also think that the bit on the Ghana card requirement was a barrier? That yes, they could have said because you're a student of University of Ghana, so if you have your student ID, that's fair enough. I mean, it identifies you as a first year student, so there's no need for a Ghana card, because not everybody has a Ghana card, obviously. Do you think the Ghana card bit was a barrier? Even though you have it, but do you think overall it was a barrier?
Yeah, I think so. Well, the fact that he has taken admission to the school and he has a student ID with the ID number on it, I think that would have been a kind of license for him to be eligible to register. And his fan really understood him. So I think it was a kind of
Okay. Do you also think, I know there is also the e-switch part, so do you all have the e-switch something, or you don't, or that is not a requirement? E-switch is not part of the process. It is not part of the process, so it's just the Ghana card. Do you also think the Ghana card bit was a barrier?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Considering the fact that our school, we UPSC students got a student's card this week. And in the process, during the time I registered, someone told me that there was going to be a deadline. That was about last 2 weeks. So at that point, the Ghana card was only available option for me to use.
So it's not a barrier. Okay, good. Do you think the bit where we are supposed to use the Ghana card to access this whole process is a barrier?
Yes, please. It is a barrier. Because talking of those who have it, they can easily register for the low fee stress policy. But how about those who don't have it?
Of course.
Yes. And not only those who don't have it now, how about those who can't get access to it before the deadline? Yeah. So it was a barrier.
It was a barrier. So for the few challenges that you have enumerated, what other challenges did you face aside you not having the GCB Bank app as the others had, and that you had to go in person to do the creation of your own account and all? Aside that element, what were the other challenges that you had to battle with?
Oh, okay. So I would say when I first went to the bank, the bank manager I spoke to, actually, he explained things to me. But prior to that, I met a man at the bank. He was like, you need to go through this procedure, this and this. I was like, the banks that usually come to our school, so that we students would open accounts with them, don't require for utility bills and all those stuff. And I don't even know about utility bills in association with this no fee stress policy. And he was like, if you won't comply with what I'm saying, then that's it, you can leave. I was like, that was so harsh. And looking at me, I didn't really know much about it. I didn't know they were going to take utility bills. I didn't know they were going to take passport pictures and all those things. Then I got to the bank and the bank manager addressed this. I was like, I didn't know about this. But the man I met first was really harsh. Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to pose a general question that we can all, take turns to answer, minus TA, because you have spoken about it. Do you all agree that awareness creation about this particular initiative was poorly done? Because yes, you've all indicated you heard it from the news, your parents told you about it, there was a WhatsApp group you created because you seem to know more about it. But then overall, do you all agree, because you all are beneficiaries, that awareness creation was poorly done, that it needed to be intensified, that they needed to break it down for you to even know that if you're going to create an account, this is the process you'd have to go through? Do you all agree? Yes. That awareness creation, you seem not to agree. You think they did enough, publication or promotion, publicity about it?
I would say yes.
You think it was done well?
Because even before the elections, the campaign team started pondering on it that this is what we are coming to do. This is what we are coming to do.
They mentioned this is an initiative that will be rolled out within the first 120 days of the. But do you think they went into details like this is how it is? Because I know that they actually did some form of awareness that you were all gathered. If I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was something like that or not?
No,
there wasn't. There was nothing like that. Was awareness creation bad for you as well? Reason being? So please amplify your voice.
The unprofessional routes they used caused it to be like a program.
So when you say unprofessional routes, what are you trying to say?
So
the mediums they used, but they used the media, which is the first port of call if you want information.
Yes, I agree, but then this is to university students. Not everybody is online as a phone. Some people use different types of technologies. So then the best way would have been to go to administration, where administration can now take over and then spread the links, something like that, so that the application will be done better from each university, how they will know how to do it for that would suit your acquired their needs. They will be able to do it, so there should be more responsibility on the administration to be able to cater to that.
So you think that there was nothing like coordination between the universities and government?
There was some coordination due to the fact that they need to manage to enter different university group tasks, but the coordination wasn't done effectively.
It wasn't done effectively. Do you think awareness wasn't poorly done? Really? You're using it?
Because aside the initial, aside the So during the manifesto, when they mentioned it, that was the official time I heard of it. But once it was rolled out, everything I know about it was based on hearsay. My friends telling me, so it was skeptical.
So how are you able to determine the authenticity of the information that was being churned out? Because now it's based on hearsay. Somebody drops an information in a WhatsApp group created by this lady or any other group. How do you really authenticate that this is indeed a viable information and this is what I'm supposed to be doing?
So about that, my classmates were telling me that, oh, I should do it, what if it's real, what if it's wrong? I was like, Charlie, I don't have that time. So my older brother too in ETU, so they told me that their school told them something about it. So I just decided that, oh, let me just do it. If it happens, why not? If it doesn't, I don't really lose anything. So that was the day I registered my account and I went to the bank.
You've already been, even before anything started, you had already, started creating awareness, even when government had not tasked you to do so, but you did your own research, you went ahead to create a WhatsApp group. Do you share in their views that, yes, awareness creation was done, or it's still being done, but it's been executed poorly?
Yes, I believe it was executed poorly.
Okay.
Because we still had lots of students having doubts about the low stress policy. Most of them had the notion that it's a loan you are going for.
It's a loan.
Yes.
But not to cut you, but I know is it to say you are not following the issues on TV? Because yes, she's made a point that not all of you are on social media, but of course access to TV is not difficult. Access to radio, it is not difficult. Because I know for a fact that the education minister had indicated that these are non-repayable monies that is being reimbursed to you. It's more like a grant. So you didn't hear that part. You all didn't hear that the monies are not to be repaid.
Yeah.
You didn't. I heard. It was later on. Oh, I see. Okay. Go on. Sorry for interrupting. You were making a point. Or you're done with your point?
Yes.
So you also share the same view that awareness creation was poorly done?
Yes.
Okay. So
Okay, I say that the government did a great job about introducing the policy to us, but then like the inside workings of the policy. For like example, as a mean like the GCB bank account, like it was not set until later on others have tried it before we got the information, and then also with the media we were under 18. I remember continuously going to the beginning of the form, coming back to the end, starting over because like I wasn't getting any information on what to do.
yeah.
It was after I had tried for about 30 minutes that I called my dad and then I told him about it. And I said that I should make time and then go to the bank and I'll see what will happen there. Yeah.
So we've established a point here that awareness creation is bad. Would you then say generally that when there is a policy, those in government do not factor beneficiaries of that policy, using this particular initiative as a clear scenario? Because yes, we told you during the election year, it was captured in the manifesto that this is what President Mahama was going to say. But the nitty-gritties of what the policy was all about, it seems the beneficiaries are not aware. So would you then say that when it comes to issues that borders on national interest in terms of policies and all of those things, the youth are left out because this is supposed to benefit you, but you don't have any understanding about it. You are underage and you didn't even know how to find a way about it. He didn't have the Ghana card, so even in this discussion, he looks exempted, like he's not part of the conversation. Sorry?
I do have my own opinions about it.
You do? So share with us. Do you think that you guys are excluded, the youth in Ghana are excluded when we are discussing policies and how it will even benefit you, basing it on this particular initiative?
Well, for me, what I would say is provisions have been made for students to be able to voice out their initiatives through pressure groups like their SRSC bodies and then the National Union of Ghanaian Students. But here lies the case where most students are not really getting themselves involved or more politically aware about what is going on in their country. So I will not put the blame entirely on the government. I also blame it on we the students ourselves.
Because you are not reading and listening to the news as you're supposed to. So you put the blame on yourself.
Yes, to a degree.
To a degree.
Yes.
Okay.
So what I would say is students are being involved, but students decide not to be involved.
Solid point.
Okay.
Explain further.
I should explain further. So what do I mean by this? There have been mechanisms that have been put in place to allow students to voice out their initiatives. But here lies the case where students use it as a front to misbehave.
Okay.
To make silly comments, to post fake news, because actually we're judging the credibility of the news we're getting, because most of the sources we were getting them from were on
not
Snapchat.
credible sources.
Yes, and then there have been situations where we've been given false news that the whole nation was actually even like sworn away by them before.
Good.
And this is something that most of them started doing in high schools. So I would say that although the government has done their part, but we the students also have to do our part to also search out the information. In the University of Ghana, we have this saying, the information is out there, but if you don't look for it, you won't find it.
Good. So we've been joined by another panelist, or should I say participant. So this is what we are doing. You introduce yourself, the institution you're coming from, indicates whether you're a continuing student or a first year student. Then we take it from there.
Jeffrey Diabwa from the University of Ghana, level 400 students, Vice President of the University of Ghana SRC.
Excellent. So obviously you've heard about some of their grievances. For you, you are not a beneficiary of this initiative, but obviously your junior brothers and sisters, I'm sure you being the SRC Vice President, they've actually drawn the SRC's attention to some of these challenges that they've encountered. Highlight some of the key challenges that have come to you as Student Representative Council in your capacity as the Vice President, and what was the way out?
Okay, so in fact on this particular initiative, it has posed a lot of challenges to students, more than we expected, because I think about a week ago I was being given the statistics of how many students have been able to apply, how many students have qualified for the amount, how many students have gotten the amount.
Can you share the statistics with us from University of Ghana?
If I knew I was coming here,
You would have,
I
yeah.
would have got an emergency status. But I'll share it with you later so that
Certainly.
you will see. And the statistics proved that the number of people that have been able to apply is nothing to be compared to the total population of the 100 students that we have. Yes. The number of people that qualify is not even up to half of the number of people that have applied. And the number of people that have gotten the amount to is something else. You get it. So I always wondered why, I mean, if you are doing this for everybody, when the previous government was offering free SHS to us as students during our SHS period, we never had the opportunity to see how much we were even going to be. I don't know how much I was supposed to be as school fees. All I knew was that I had entered the school and then I'm enjoying free SHS. And that's what we thought it was going to be. So even if you paid your fees before the government came into power, what stops the government from crediting your student's account with that amount of money, every single student? So we know that this is going to everybody.
So when you say every single student, are you taking the concentration? Okay.
Yeah.
But then the whole initiative is purposely for the level 100 students.
Every single level 100 students should be able to have their account credited with that amount. Because if you're in level 100, you have 3 more years to spend. So if that amount of money that is being given to you is in your university's account, the following year, if you have to pay that fees, you don't have to pay because the government has already paid for it.
So you think the money shouldn't go to the students, it should go to the schools?
Directly to the students. They have students accounts. They all those here who are University of Ghana students have university accounts where if you pay your fees, it goes into it as a credit. And when they are deducting your fee, they debit that amount from it.
But these are their monies. Their parents paid for them. So if I'm saying I am taking the load off you, you've already paid. Am I not supposed to pay it back to you? Should the university be the medium through which I would pay the money to you?
One of the very challenging issues I'm faced with is how to sustain students that have entered the university already. To get students who are entering the university, paying their first year fee is not only the issue most of the time, but maintaining the statistics of the number of students that defer every single year is appalling. And we as SRC have always been fighting for means to support students that at a point in time they feel like they cannot continue, so they want to defer, go and work and come back. So of what importance is paying a fee to somebody who has already paid, which we all know that if the person receives that money right now, the tendency of spending the money is very high. Then the following year, the person has to come and pay another fee, and that person doesn't have it.
So if it was paid into the school's account, that they don't have access. It's been paid for you. Interesting.
But you know, someone is like, and the person said that after he has been paid, he has been paid what the government has given him, with the amount he goes. So we have this policy that SRC has established in the university, where even if you've not paid your fees, we give you a flexible payment plan so that you can register your courses, and after you get the funds, you pay. So there are students that have not paid their fees, but they will be able to register their courses because of that initiative we brought. Now those students are supposed to go and pay with the money that they've been given by the government. Ask yourself, how many students will get the courage to go and pay back that money with them? So the gentleman came and asked me that with that amount that he has, is he supposed to, is the government still going to credit his account, or he has to use that money to go and pay? And looking at his posture, he found it difficult to go and deposit that money because he feels like it's free money. Yes.
Okay, so that is one of them. Now, that is your opinion. He's also made a valid point that the money should have not been paid into your account. It should have been credited to your respective school account. Do you share the same view?
Yes.
You all share the same?
No. Yes,
I'll take yours first. Why are you saying you side with what he's saying?
See, due to the poor communication of it, most parents are not aware about the whole thing. Even yesterday, when I was in my hostel, my boys they were like, Charlie, new phone load, you know.
Because they've been reimbursed?
Because they've been reimbursed.
Wow.
So when the money comes, people have planned actually, I'm going to use the money for my outing, I'm going to use the money for my this, my that. And parents are not even aware of the whole thing. Like I said, everything I know about it was based on hearsay. So there was no official communication that came out that, oh, this and this is what has come out. Parents, your words have been reimbursed. Please make sure that the fees have been paid.
Wow. Do you also share in what he said that the money should have been credited to your respective school account or something? You also have the same system at UPSA. You don't?
UPSA, we do have student accounts.
Okay.
Most of the hundreds are brought in by guardianships or parents or who above them due to how funding payments work. So the majority of them have parents who are, as my fellow colleague said, who are unaware or they are misinformed or uninformed at all. Because although Mahama has
President Mahama,
His Excellency, has delegated it as delegated the thing as, or everybody should know that I'm doing the thing. Until there has been physical action, nobody can for sure. And now that the physical action has been done, some people already have paid their fees to access their student portals and such as. So now that the physical access has been done, they feel like, I have free, like you said, free money. This is free. My parents don't know I have money. So now the students may use the funds as how they wish. So instead, their guardians should be informed, they should be aware that their money is.
But let me get this understanding. Is it to say that your parents are not informed that this is the process you are going through? None of you, apart from him, you have obviously told your parents because you needed them. None of you didn't communicate to your parent that, remember the initiative that President Mahama talked about when he was about to come into power? Remember that initiative? Is it that through the registration process, you do not require any endorsement or backing from your parents? So
No.
you don't. If you are of age, you are not of age. So you needed your parents. Yes.
And my parents knew.
They know.
Yes, they knew.
Have they followed up if you've been given the money?
Yes.
Have they asked what you've done with the money?
Yes.
What have you done with your money?
I've not done anything with them.
It's still intact in your...
account.
Good.
Yes. They've been following each and everything, single thing that goes on here in our country. And then, even let's say you have a parent who is not educated, we have our various local newspapers and various local radio stations. They can listen to everything that's going on in our country through those radio stations. And then he's saying they should have given it, they should have
Paid it into your student account.
Yeah, I don't agree with it.
Good.
Because you know yourself. Okay, let me come. You see, he made mention of the SRC giving out loans to students, and it has a flexible method of paying. So you see, let me say I went in for one, and this amount of money has been.
So you have time to address what he said. So hold on, let him make his
a flexible method.
with the. So okay, so he said that the university has a system where they've given you a way of paying. So same flexibility is subjective. You might want to say it's flexible. He might not think it is. But there's a structure where you pay. So maybe 70%.
He's saying that I said SRC.
Alright.
But you did. You meant to say it was a school.
Fees that you have to pay. He lets you register and he pays later.
So you misunderstood his point.
Okay, so forgive me for that. Recently, I was there. I went into my student account, and I saw I've been credited an amount of money. I owe the school everything. I owe the school.
You owed the
yes,
school.
I asked myself, what brought this? Like, I was not aware of anything that was ongoing, so I went to the SRC.
Sorry.
Those who were in the student loan trust in the office of the governor, I interrogated them, that was something, but they couldn't give me
Concrete reasons.
Very deep into it. So supposing that this money the president has given out with his administration was placed in the streets.
They would have deducted,
yes.
but you owe them.
I owe them.
So there should have been a formal communication that we want to do. Okay.
May I speak on that issue?
You want to come in? Okay, so go on.
Okay, so concerning I think there should have been an option for students to choose whether they want the money reimbursed into their students' account or their personal accounts. There are some students that are well to do that their parents can actually...
Well, hold on. How many of you would you have actually wholly welcomed the idea that we're not giving the monies to you in your account but your student accounts? How many of you would have loved that idea?
I wouldn't mind.
I would have. Truthfully?
Yes,
I wouldn't mind.
So, but is it to say, again, they should have consulted you now? Again, before any policy comes out, there's the consultation bit. So do you think that government should have come down to your level to consult you on your preferred choice, whether to pay into your student account or to be given to you directly through your personal account? Do you all think that should have been the...
See, government cannot come individually and ask students that what is your take on it.
So that's why we have SRCs, yeah.
Contributed, and that's how we wanted it to be. But you see, we looking at a transparent system, he was asking me a question that if they are supposed to credit it into everybody's accounts, how he has a question regarding this. And I mentioned that if you are crediting everybody's account, nobody will left behind. Do you agree?
Of course.
Everybody's account. So you don't have to apply for free SHS, you don't have to apply for free SHS.
Okay, so let's move from the free SHS bit. We're looking at the no fees. So yes, in as much as we want to understand the policy, we don't want to do comparing and contrasting. This is what is on the table, like, yeah.
So now this initiative could have been better off if everybody just had access to it. Okay, that particular thing that government wants to pay it to the school. Let's come to level 100 and not pay anything. When they come as continuous and they start paying, and now we know that indeed you are giving all level 100 free access to education.
Okay. Because now he hasn't accessed his money because he has a challenge.
He has a challenge. And there are a lot of people, if I am not mistaken, that the statistics that I got told me that not more than 50% of students have been able to apply. And not more
50%?
Yes, and not more than 20% of them have qualified for it. So you can imagine the number of people that will not get this money.
But we've been informed that about 15,000 students have been fully reimbursed.
15,000 students. University of Ghana has, I think we reported 18,100 students. And that's just University of Ghana.
So by this time the numbers have increased. So that was somewhere last week when the president made that announcement. So we are in a new week, exactly 7 days later. So we're looking at a spike in the numbers. We probably will be doing more than 15,000.
What is the point of doing something to make impact in the lives of every single individual if certain people will be deprived because of the challenges that your system is posing on them?
So earlier we were talking about awareness creation. Do you think that, in your view, awareness creation was well executed? I'll come to, you had a point in relation to what he was saying.
Yes,
okay, make it briefly, then he can answer my question.
I was just basically saying that it should have been optional. And like I said earlier, a lot of the students do not actually get themselves involved in what things are going on. Even in the going like this, the SRC organizes a lot of programs and tries to make students aware of certain things, but
they just are not interested.
That's the situation we have right
so
now.
So we cannot entirely blame government.
Exactly.
Yeah, there are some inefficiencies, but the rest is on you as well.
That's it. So I agree with what both sides are saying about this, where there should have been an option for students to choose whether they can the funds can be reimbursed into their personal accounts or their students' accounts. Like I was saying, every student knows where they are coming from. Some know that they can pay their school fees next semester. Others know they can't. So maybe this is their chance to pay for level 200 and then work their way out to level 300 and 400. And here lies the case where there are students too that are also working on campus. There are students that are also business owners, like my dear friend here, who is her own CEO of her own business, and then such a money could be used to reinvest in her business to grow it, and that money too could be used to pay her fees. It's about preferences. That's what I see. That's how I see it.
Okay, so SRC Vice President, talk to us about the awareness creation, because obviously if it had gone down very well, as they are saying, some of this information wouldn't have been a challenge. He would have known that he is underage, so he's supposed to go through these processes. He would have known he doesn't have a Ghana card, so he's supposed to get something from his parent before they traveled.
I have a rhetorical question to ask. What is the point of a no fisheries policy?
What is the point? It's a good thing it's a rhetorical question.
And what is the goal? I believe, and I believe a lot of us here will agree, that the reason why this initiative is coming is to allow every single level 100 student who has entered university to find who issue the payment of fees. You agree? Now, this is a situation where you are, the only thing I can say this is comparison, not to free executive, but the student loan initiative, for instance. You know, student loan is not by force. You decide that you want it and then you get it. So that one you apply, you qualify, and then they give you the funds. And it looks like the government has given this initiative to the student loan trust fund
to facilitate it,
so they are doing is the way they do their student loan. You get it. So their student loan, you apply and then they give you the funds. And And that's what is happening right now.
But you think there's no need for them to apply and secure?
Why should we apply for something?
But if they don't, how then will government be able to identify that truly this person is a level? I mean, we know how the system works in Ghana.
Every single detail of every student, and you know what? They are actually confirming the things that they have applied to the university. So if you apply and you send a particular detail, they are confirming from the university whether that information you give them is true or not. So
Okay, so they call back to confirm.
Yes, they confirm from the university. You go to STS and then you have to upload your Ghana card and stuff. They verify some information. You get it. So what stops them from directly getting that information from the university? Okay, how many students were enrolled in the 100? Okay, what are the account details? You send it straight into every student can confirm that I've gotten your funds. If there are challenges where students did not receive it, it should be a means of reporting. That one is easier. You don't need awareness to credit someone's account. You don't have to tell me before you give me money. Please go with your money. And then even with whether students can, let's assume that okay, you ask for you want your money for yourself, you may even want it to be credited into your student's account. Even after it has been credited, there is a refund policy of the university that allows you to request for a refund for that amount. So let's say even if you took loan and it has to be paid in, just like we're trying to cite an example, you can actually request for a refund, get that fund and then use it if your case is error. But I think that what is better than getting to level 200, which all of you will get to very soon, and then you don't have to pay fees because it has already been credited to your account, whether you have to apply or not. I hope it does.
You do. So, to our viewers watching us on Facebook, if you're following us on X and you seem to be encountering some challenges, please go back to Facebook Live. We are streaming live on Facebook. So, if you're experiencing some challenges on X, please go back to Facebook and watch us. Then while you're doing that, don't forget to drop a question in the comment section. We want to hear your experiences as well, so share with us your experiences and then we'll definitely read them out. So you're done with your point, right? You're done with it. I asked about the awareness creation, whether you thought it was very well executed or there were some lapses.
Okay, so my view on the awareness creation, personally as SRC, I have always found it difficult to put out information on no fee stress policy. I have found it difficult. And the reason why I found it difficult is that we are in a system where when you come to University of Ghana, if anything is going on and then it doesn't go on well, students tend to blame their student leaders, especially if they've not spoken on the matter. So the means of communication, if you are working closely with the university, have you seen anything with stress in your students' meals? On how you should apply, no, apart from the STS, the GCB process and all of that. Have you seen that official communication? Why would it implement not collaborate with the university in it? Because indeed, it is the very people in the university that to benefit from this. So if the government gotten in touch with the university to give them every detail of it, every student will get that information. This where there's a students loan office at the SRC Union building who students come in day in and day out just to through the application process and know how to apply and all of that. After that, how many students would even get to know that they should SRC Union building for that kind of instance? You would preach it.
That if you have, that's why you are a body representing the interest of the student. So if you identify something, shouldn't you be out there that yes, we know this is new to you and obviously you would experience some challenges, but we represent you. So if you've identified some challenges, come to us.
The question is that what steps have the government taken to make me, the SRC president, understand what is really going on?
Is it to say the SRC was equally not
SRCs have not been properly involved in the whole process?
It's a common knowledge, or it's just coming from you?
It's coming from you can call every SRC president elsewhere. If they've involved them, I don't know. The only time we were involved in the conversation was when it was about to be rolled out. I was there, the NUC's president called. We sent a representative to contribute on how it should be how the fund should be disbursed. And our contribution on that conversation was that it should be credited into every student's account, only for us to come back, and then it was done differently.
So that was before the rollout of the initiative.
But after it started rolling out, we've not been engaged ever.
So if I understand, NUCS made the argument that pay it into their students' accounts and not their individual accounts.
Exactly.
But after you, like, it was rolled out and you all knew this was the system that was going to be used, did you go back to the table again to say, yes, we made this recommendation because it is about us, we are the students, we know how it is going to serve our interests? Did you go back to the drawing table, or you just left it
so
like that?
I informed the NUCS about why it is being given to them directly and the challenges it can pose. NUCS is literally the voice of all of us, so
Good.
you can only tell them what your concerns are. I said there's a student loan office right in our SRC office where students come for assistance, and those in charge, I don't want to say this here, but the moment I mentioned it, it was like, I mean, it is politics. What can it is?
But
politics.
we don't want to politicize it.
So those that are implementing the initiative are politicizing it, and that is what is causing all this. If we should be very honest and transparent to ourselves, it would have been better off than what we face today. But I think that yes, we are faced by the challenges, but the best we can. I think there's a new deadline. What is the deadline?
What was the old deadline first? No. So what happens to you and you?
That's the question I'm even about to ask. What happens to all the students?
I'm curious. What have you done? Like, have you followed up? Like, or you don't want your money?
Oh, madam, you can follow up, sir.
No, I do not want to be an advocate for anybody, but I'm pretty sure, say, this is for you. So whatever happens, this is your money that government says it's non-repayable. But what have you done on your own? Like, you went, the system bounced, and you're good?
Oh, no, not that. When I spoke to my parents, they were saying that within the week, next week, of course, they would let me go and get my Ghana card and then create accounts for the money to be reinvested. But since the deadline has been increased, I can actually still apply with no problem.
You?
I started expecting to like getting my Ghana card. Then it takes further steps to meet. But I also wanted to make this point where the parents' information is. So I was thinking, like, it's not about the information available.
Okay.
How do you think that it's about the fact that the trust between the government and the people has been lost? Due to
Trust.
The trust, yeah.
Okay.
So now, because there is no trust between them, and even like a politician, a politician would say, everybody would complete it. Everybody would say, because previous politicians have made it in a way that it has given them a bad name. So whatever they say, they cannot be held to their word unless they do the action first. That's why until people were receiving money or receiving their reimbursements, people would not believe it.
So let's go to the exciting part of this discussion. How many of us have received our monies? You haven't?
No, please.
You have? You definitely, you have. So share with us, how was the announcement made? You're there, you receive an SMS that monies, or your bankers contact you, say, no, you've been credited with this amount, so.
Okay, so I received a message from the Students Trust Loan here.
Yeah.
I received an SMS that my money has been reimbursed into my account. And then I also received an SMS from GCB Bank. That to check the entire thing, and it was enough.
So you still seem to have doubt, even when the money had been reimbursed, you still had doubt? So like the trust issue that she's talking about, the whole thing is shredded in secrecy or what?
Yes, even I heard from some people in my vicinity, they're like, the government is doing all this, apply, register, and all this because the government doesn't want to cover the entire, like the fees for entire level 100 students. And they actually taking this on, let's say, political
Gimmick.
yes. So, and others are saying that they are using the students' trust loan here because they want to boost our account so that when we get into 200, we will be eligible for the loans. Yes.
Okay. So, to the time the money was reimbursed into your account from registration period to when it was finally released, how long was it? A matter of weeks, days?
Weeks.
How many weeks, if you can recall? About 2 weeks or more or less?
2 weeks or more.
2 weeks or more. Yes. You've received your money. How was it like when you received that text that your money has been reimbursed?
So when I received mine, I wasn't shocked. Let me say, I was excited and I received the money at that
And you
time.
were shocked? Or you were not shocked?
I was not shocked because I knew the
Government would deliver.
Yes, please. Yes, please. What she said that the government is trying to let everyone register, and then they know some people are not going to be able to register, so that they wouldn't disperse the money to all level 100s. I don't think that's true. Because
So it's a hearsay. She also heard it from people. That's what they said. It's not coming from her.
Right.
That was the
Yes, please.
idea underground.
So the thing is, when the government got to realize that, not all level 100s have been able to or will be able to register, that's why they told them to bring in a third party, being in their parent or a guardian. Yes. So they want to open it up to all level 100s. That's why.
And you're speaking in the capacity of a government rep or a student, a beneficiary.
Yes,
but you know that was the intention of government,
Yeah.
because you received that communication from government.
Yes, please.
Did I have something to say?
Okay.
Okay, so even after a lot of students haven't been able to register
Yes.
due to they not having their Ghana cards, yes, a lot of people are still saying what I just heard and said, that the government doesn't want to pay the fees of every level 100 students.
But
And even
if government didn't want to pay the fees, would he have initiated the move in the first place? Because I don't think government would want to just to, whip up your
Yes.
interest.
And even with the release of the deadline too, because there are students who haven't been able to register and the deadline has been released. So I don't really see a point in they not saying this. Though they're politicizing everything or the whole thing. But yeah.
Good. So, Mr. Vice President, so has there been any form of communication where if the deadline elapses, what happens to them? What's the conversation up there? Like if it elapses and they haven't registered, they haven't done what is required of them, what happens?
What happens is exactly what she has said. What happens is that people that were not able to apply will be deprived from benefiting from the initiative. And
Is that the conversation out there, like between NUCs and the various, because NUCs represent
this is something that we don't know what will happen. Does anyone really know? And if what will happen is that the government will now credit everybody's accounts, then it is good news. But I doubt, because that is something that could have been done already. No matter how this may sound, we all can obviously see that the no fee stress policies implementation has not been fair to every single level 100 student who has entered the university this academic year. It has just not been fair to everybody. And I think that, let's say SRC in itself, we want to embark on an initiative to cover the fees for, so let me give an initiative that we intend to do. We are trying to put together an initiative that pays the fees for every special needs student.
That's what SRC
That's what
is doing.
we are putting together to do. So we want to cut off 50% of their fees, at least, even if not
For
everything.
every student or just for first year students?
Special needs students.
Okay.
Those that are differently abled. So I got to know that their numbers range between 200 to 250 students. The first thing that, if I'm implementing this policy, the first thing I will do is to know how much each of these students pay. And I am not going to take that. I've done a survey to know from they themselves how much they are paying, so that it gives me a clear idea on how much we should raise to cover those debts. But never will we go and put that money in their own hands, especially because of the kind of impact we want to make. If I want to come out as SRC Vice President and tell the whole world that I have been able to cover the fees, 50% of the fees for special needs students, I should say that confidently because I have given every single special needs student opportunity to benefit from it, and not to intentionally create a link, share it to some of them to apply. If the rest don't apply, then I say that, okay, only those that applied have gotten it. That will be an unfair way of treating such students. The best I have to do is to reach out to the University's Finance Directorate, tell them they have the statistics or the data of all special needs students. They have their students' accounts. Credit it in, and there's one initiative we do, the No Kufio initiative, you know of it. The No Kufio initiative. So
these are initiatives by
that go on
SRC.
Yes.
But have you found out how you can tailor your initiatives with that of what we are now all enjoying, the no fee stress initiative?
If our voices can be heard, why not?
But your voices are being heard.
Okay, I'll be glad.
Because you represent the student bodies. Your voices are heard. That's why you were elected.
My voices were heard by the students and they voted for me. But I'm talking about whether the government will take into consideration these things we are talking about.
Okay.
And it looks like it's not they may only be able to do it going forward, not with the current. The only way they can align with what we are saying is that after the deadline, they say that, okay, you people have taken your own. The rest of you will credit it into your accounts. Then that one we know we've been listened to. But if it doesn't happen that way, then it is nothing but a political gimmick.
So you've joined us. You've been following the conversation all this while. Have you registered?
I have.
Have you received your money?
No, I haven't.
What's the hold up?
I'm told, okay, per the government's communication that the money is being dispersed in batches.
Good.
So I take it as though I'm not part of the batches that have been reimbursed.
But like, take us through the registration process. Of course, your colleagues, some have shared that it was tedious, others were saying it was very flexible. Was it the same in your case, tedious or flexible?
My case was tedious because of the Ghana card factor.
You also had an issue. You didn't have a Ghana card.
I didn't have the Ghana card.
So what
prior to the
happened?
registration.
Okay.
I had to make arrangements to get the Ghana card, and it took me, if I'm not wrong, close to 2 months before I secured the Ghana card. Yeah, and
but then you still hadn't registered because it was a requirement.
I hadn't registered, so I registered 2 weeks before the launching date. That was last week. So I registered 2 weeks before the dates. That was when I got my Ghana card.
But did you all not know that at some point you were going to be asked to use the Ghana card? You all didn't know. You didn't hear from the communication out there. But SRC Vice President, please hold on. Let me come to you again. You were engaged by NUCS even before the initiative was rolled out. On your part, what did you do to create awareness on campus? Because first year students are also there in the University of Ghana. And if they are going to benefit from something, you being the ultimate body that represents their interests, didn't you think that you're supposed to also, join in the awareness creation to, whip up some interest that if you are experiencing some challenges and all of that?
Okay, so let's take this scenario. I want to implement an initiative. You call me to know what I think about the initiative and say, okay, thank you, and I leave. The next thing I see is you started implementing and I telling everybody they should apply to. You didn't engage me that at the end of the day, this is what you decided on and this is how you even want to roll it out. So that alone gave us, and one thing about SRC is our credibility and integrity matter a lot to us. So we wouldn't want to put out any information that we are not so sure about. right? So most of the times, if we get any information, it is the very information that has already been circulated to everybody to know and see. We are willing to collaborate with the government to see how best students will be aware of the initiative and all of that. But I think that where we've gotten to, the government, we thank them for how many students received it in their student account. That is okay. They should make sure that everybody that has applied will be able to get their funds the way we are all expecting or we are anticipating. I'm sure this gentleman here has been, every morning, if you get any SMS, you wonder whether is that or not. But when all have how greater number, can assure you that not more 70% is funds because of the application rate. Not more than 70% of
Are you a devil's advocate?
oh,
I'm
I am
asking
just
this.
being real. The reason I'm being real is because, like, if you look at, you see, applying alone is not enough. Whether you qualify, so do you know whether you qualified? You know, so they tell you that you've qualified. So there are people that are not qualified too, who has not qualified. So they have to rectify.
So what is the criteria? Those who haven't qualified, what are they being told? Is it you don't have a Ghana card? Are those the issues they are raising that because of this you are not eligible to apply?
Without the Ghana card, you can't apply in the first place. But after application.
Okay, so yeah.
So in the first place, without the Ghana card, you can't apply. But after application, when probably there's misinformation, the information you give out, and there's a wrong information there, it might render you disqualified.
So if you don't provide the accurate information, that is when they tell you are disqualified.
Disqualified necessarily, but you'll be asked to
restart the whole process again. So then essentially you have not been disqualified. You still stand a chance of receiving your money. You do. Okay. So, our dear gentleman, you've been silent for a while. You have had an issue. So, this whole policy is to benefit you as a first-year student in a public tertiary institution. You've identified some challenges. What do you think should be done going forward so that the challenges you experienced and what he has also experienced can be enhanced going forward so that the next beneficiaries wouldn't have to go through the stress that you have gone through?
Okay, so for my initial issue, that issue has been sorted out. But then with the Ghana card issue, I believe that the government should make provisions for like the various universities. They should have various outposts there that allows students to be able to register for their Ghana card, and like the creation of the Ghana card should be fast tracked for them. That would like help with the Ghana card issue. Yeah.
Away from Ghana card issues, what are some other things that you think when introduced it will best help to enhance this policy so that you would fully enjoy it? I know you've received your money. You haven't received your money. What is the hold up?
I don't know.
Did you apply late?
No, I applied last week.
Okay, and you applied. Who has you? When did you apply?
Let's say 3 weeks.
3 weeks ago. So obviously, if you apply earlier, you stand a chance of receiving your money. You applied earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. So aside the challenges you have, what do you think again that if government does, it will help, make this policy the best so that it will indeed serve your interest? Or we should go back and you have some issues which you've shared. Yeah. So what should government be doing that government is not doing to better enhance this initiative that is meant for you? Can you please speak up for us?
Right now, we have 3 categories that we've been talking about so far. We've been based on the access
for so long about the contradictions and complications that come with the links and other questions so far. The assessment from the government students, the 65% for them, has already stated out some initiatives about how they should have just they could have contacted the administration. So I was something closer where they should have linked it, they had better communication with the administration.
Coordination.
University. Right now, the only thing I'll think of is how financially and economically stable that decision that how excellence has made will be. And whether the police continue to be possible. Because as we speak, there's already debts from the previous governments that have already been what all he has to do. Health and infrastructure is also there. That he also, in his speeches, he has also explained that he fixed like some of our roads leading to Tema, the place I am from. They are also fixing there as well, the infrastructure is there. So then, what added funding? Where is the funds coming from? I mean, that's my only confusion.
So, during the 2025 budget, the finance minister, it's a government allocated an amount of 499.8 million Ghana cedis for this project. So obviously government has prioritized this initiative and has set some funds aside to see to it that you guys receive your monies.
And as they said prior, even for university students, we are 9,000 for level 100. And we're one of the smallest universities in Accra. One of the smallest universities in Accra. So when I take allocation, the amount of money so far, I'm from the fees, and then different universities charge different prices. So as I'm seeing this now, how the long-term
sustainability. So you think that government may not be able to sustain this initiative?
There is a chance, but it might lead to, there's also a chance that it might lead to debt due to the fact that if the funds may not reach, they would have to go for excess funding, maybe from national bank.
President, before you exit, let us hear from you, your final words, basing it on what they have shared, your personal views and what the SRC also believes.
You see, what she's saying is very important to me because I am told that why laughing? The amount of money that is being credited into the account is not necessarily how much they actually need to satisfy the academic fees. So we have fee-paying students in level 100 who are paying about ×2 of what regular students pay. And those people are not getting the amount of money they actually need to clear their whole level 100 fees out of to sail through to level 200. So what I mean by what I'm saying is that not everybody, you are not getting the amount you owe or you need to pay for your academic fees. There are certain people that are getting it because it is just 2,000 cedis, so they are giving it to you. But those that are supposed to pay 9,000, there are students at University of Ghana that are paying 9,000 cedis. Those people are not getting 9,000 cedis from the government. They are first year students.
They get it.
I am not so sure the exact amount, but they are not getting 9,000.
But they will get something, or they are not
They
getting
will get
anything.
something, obviously, they will get something. That is why I keep on asking what is the point of the no fee stress policy.
So is the financial burden
so
of first year students.
So just to give you something so that you see that government has given you something. So
because academic fee is a challenge for first year students, right? He made a point earlier that a lot of people fared well in the Awase, but in the past, because of the financial challenges, these individuals are not able to go to the university. And our government has given you the avenue that I'm taking that burden off. Shouldn't government be applauded?
Government should be applauded for thinking about the ordinary students
and executing
and trying to do something to help. For that we are grateful. But if the finance minister really budgeted an amount of money for this, then it should have been properly budgeted for. Because if you are going to parliament after taking the statistics of how much every student is paying directly from the university, and then you know that every single level 100 students is supposed to pay this amount, I'm not sure that's the amount he'll be budgeting for no fee stress policy.
So you think the budget is not even enough to pay every first year student?
The budget is not enough to pay every first year student, because the amount you need to pay every first, now the 4 million is how much was it? 400 million.
Yeah, 490. Yeah.
490 million.
99.8.
99.8 million Ghana cedis. Even University of Ghana alone, how much students need to pay?
But not to catch you, you know that the education minister also hinted would need 345 million Ghana cedis for this initiative. So government has even added on. If we need 345 million and government has set aside 499, hasn't he gone overboard?
Good. That is a good thing for governments to do. But if this education minister that says we need 345 million Ghana cedis to execute this initiative, is now paying students less than what they need, then it means you clearly didn't take the statistics of what they need before you did your budget. Like, this is just logic. I speaking on the point of view of leadership, because if I'm supposed to execute an initiative like this, these are the things I'll be doing.
Why are you nodding?
Well, it's all very intriguing.
You get it?
You share the same view.
The people that we are serving are expecting us to do certain things for them. And if as a leader, I'm supposed to implement such an initiative, and my prime aim or my priority is to satisfy every single level 100 students entering a university, my first step would be to get the statistics of how much every student is supposed to pay. Add everything together.
But not to catch you and not to drag this particular session.
Okay.
Are you telling me that government didn't envisage that? Obviously, before he set out to even, conceive this idea, he would have done his homework, that when you go to the University of Ghana, the Department of Law or the Faculty of Law, this is, yes, Anne, please keep it down. This is how much they are supposed to pay. This particular faculty, they are supposed. So he factored in those things.
Good. I don't intend to do politics here, right? But
Thank
then
God.
last years ago, the current president of our country asked a very interesting question. And that interesting question he asked was that if all you had as a government was I think it was 9 billion Ghana cedis or so, if all you had was that amount of money, will you invest all of that into free SHS? He asked such a question.
The current government asked the former administration.
Yes. He asked Ghanaians.
Okay.
Now let's be logical. If you really have that money, will you invest all of that into free SHS? And obviously people said, no. But now they have budgeted more than ×2 of that amount for the same free SHS policy. That means that the amount you need to pay every single Ghanaian who enters the senior high school is increasing, and the number of people that are benefiting. This is a precedence for the next batch of level 100 students that will come. So somebody that is coming and wants to do medicine, knowing that he has to pay this amount of money for medicine and does not have the money, would want to come because when I come, President Mahama says he's going to cover all of that for me. The person comes and then you give him half of it, that, okay, I just want to release your stress, so take some of it. Now, you ask the question, where does the person get the remaining amount of money from? And this thing can just be simply done by crediting everybody's account with what they need to enter the university. So you don't need to bother about who is applying and who is not applying and who has a Ghana card and who doesn't have a Ghana card. What we need are students who are in the universities. What are the details of the students? How much is every student supposed to pay? How much does University of Ghana need to be able to run this policy for all their level 100 students? You directly give that amount of money to the university. Engage the students' leaders. We know how to communicate to our students that, see, the government has credited your account with this amount of money. From next academic year, okay, so let's say for the next 1 year, you are not going to, you don't need to go and pay fees again, and whatever the government has paid is what you need, and that is it. We are in for the policy. Honestly, I'm happy that government has such a good notion to do this for a country like this, or Ghana is getting that opportunity to allow students to enter first year without paying fees. But if it must be done, then it must be done well.
Done well, yeah.
Don't do it anyhow.
Okay, so in wrapping up, it's fair to take all your last minutes, your last and final comments. So I'll start with you, Mr. Underage. In concluding this whole session, what do you have to say? Of course, obviously, I'm sure you're going to applaud government for this initiative. Beyond the applause, what else are you adding on? Your final words.
Okay, what I would like to add on is that the implementation of the policy should be studied. As he said, like the leadership of the universities, they should be brought in. They would sit down, and then they will now draw like a more feasible way of implementing like the policy. Because currently, honestly, I am a bit skeptical on whether I would receive my money or not, honestly.
You are a bit skeptical.
Yes.
But you've had the assurance, you've now gone through the right processes.
Yes, I have. But then, like, I registered about last week ago or so. So, how long would it take before like I received my share of the policy?
Have you reached out to the STLF? Student loan, and have they said anything about it?
I have applied. I have been approved. I am just waiting for the money. So I dropped to drop in my account. But then, would they actually drop?
She has received hers. He has
Yes.
received his.
That is them. But then, at the end of the day, would the money reach everyone? I am skeptical of that aspect, because what if all this it's a political gimmick? Let's say about 70% of students actually get the money, and then it's left about 30%.
Don't you also think they are dispersing the money in batches? Batch 1, they received theirs. The second batch, obviously, until the last person, unless you don't do the needful and register on time and the deadline elapses, then you know you caused it. You caused the problem.
That is what we are being told. But then, if you look at recent years, the people's trust in the government is not very high, honestly. So
this particular government or
government as
previous
a whole,
governments we've had as
government
well.
as a whole, you see. So we have what they say, but then what they do most likely is also different. Yeah. So right now that's all.
Okay. So you joined in a bit late, but then in wrapping up, of course, you also have your own thoughts about this whole thing. So your final words as we conclude.
Okay, so going forward, I suggest that instead of waiting till students report after they have paid and then you start processes to do reimbursement or refunding, the money should be paid even before the students go to school. That's what I suggest. So, as he mentioned earlier, consultation should be made with the management of the various universities. They sit with the government and then they figure out best ways to get this policy going as we move forward. So students' fees will be paid before they even report, because the whole idea of the no fee stress policy is to alleviate the suffering of all the stress parents and students go through to afford their fees. But if you are paying it after they have gotten to school, where would they get money to go to school? So my suggestion is that the money should be paid even before students report.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, well, well, I would not want to take it into a political light, but all basically what I want to say is, what I would like to say is, we the people and the government all have a role to play in this. As much as the government has made provisions to reimburse students' funds to them, we the students have to be actively aware and participate in the process of it instead of just mindlessly scrolling through social media all the time. Well, I actually learned a lot from this conversation, to be very honest with you. And my brother Frank and I have had the privilege back in high school to work under NUCS because we were working at a regional body as SRC executives too. And I can say for sure that in implementation of policies, you might not always meet everybody. If, let's say, the policy is meant for 10 people, realistically speaking, most of the policies you come out with can reach 8 out of the 10 people. Definitely there will be 2 that will be needing things. But what we can do as a people is to stop complaining about what has happened and try to find a solution to that problem.
So what's the solution here now?
That solution would come when we actually sit down and say, okay, fine, we did this. It didn't work out as well. What's the situation now? What resources do we have? How do we mobilize resources? What is not needed? What is needed? Scale of preferences, and then we move forward. So another advice to give to my fellow colleagues out there is read the fine prints. The information is there. As long as you make up your mind to read it, you find it. And you must also understand the words behind every single article, every single sentence, every single paragraph. Because the government said they want to ease our burdens. They didn't say they were taking it away. Do you get where I'm coming from? Okay, so that's all I can say.
Well said. Your final words.
I'd like to congratulate the government on their commitment to education.
Okay.
And I also second the Vice President's statement that the government cannot use a one-size-fits-all approach to their disbursements.
Okay.
Because some costs pay significantly higher than others.
Okay.
So the government should look at that. It's a good idea, all right, but a good idea without a good system becomes another broken promise.
Well said.
And your final words.
If you cannot structure your system properly in order to do it, it will just become an empty casket. Just yeah.
All right, so thank the President of the Republic. We are grateful for the great work they began. And then one thing I'll tell those students out there that they should be following graduating as well. There are times where when the representative of the SLT are being brought to come, we have this radio investment funds. So they come there often and they give us updates on the. So students should be listening and be reading as well. And then the money is being really neglected by. So each and every student is waiting to receive his or her should just be patient.
So he should be patient.
Yes.
He should not be skeptical.
No.
The money will get you his pen. You heard him. So if he tells you you will receive yours, obviously you know it's a strong conviction that he will receive it. Good. You're welcome. Pearl.
Okay, so based on the stories that inspired the launch of this policy, the president said behind the faces or behind each face there's a dream defect. So I would like to congratulate him for bringing out this policy or launching this policy. And moving on, I would say that aside the Ghana card issue, aside seeking a guarantor for that, the student IDs could also be used. If student IDs could also be used, even if it won't be, the fees won't be paid before we report to school, the student IDs could be used. And also, if it must be done, then well.
Mr. Vice President, she made mention of the student's ID. Is there a possibility that in your next engagement with NUCSO, I'm pretty sure government will come back to the drawing table to see how best this can be rolled out well. Is there a possibility you could raise the issue of the student's card that the Ghana card seems to be not favoring everybody because not everyone has a Ghana card. Could you also sell the idea of maybe?
For first year students, if it is going to use as a substitute, that is fine. As an alternative, that's what I mean. If it's an alternative, if you don't have Ghana card, then you can use your student ID, that is fine. But if it is substitute the Ghana card, then it will be problematic because a lot of students actually have Ghana card more than student ID because you don't get your student ID on time after the time of registration of courses and all. So you can only do that. You are not necessarily. We want is not money to pay it into their student account. You don't need Ghana card to register your courses. Their courses.
Okay, I would have loved to have the teaching assistant here to take his final words. I don't know how that is possible to get the TA here to give his final words before we wrap up. You started with us. We would love to hear what you have to say as we wrap up. My producers are working around it to get him here. He's been following the conversation from the other side, so it will be good to hear what our TA has to say. Yes, he did indicate the awareness creation was poorly done. Now, his students have also raised the issue of skepticism that I've been left out. I don't know if indeed I will receive my money. That's what your son is saying. Or should I say your junior brother here is saying. So overall, you've been listening to the conversation from the other side. You've heard what they have to say, particularly what the SRC vice president said. He made a valid point that the monies could or should have been paid into their student account instead of their individual account. I don't know whether you also think that's the best way to go because your students here seem to agree with what the vice president said. So I'll quickly take your view on that, then you give us your final words as we wrap up.
Okay, thank you. So first of all, when it comes to the reimbursement of the amount, I think the students should be the best people to decide where the money should go to because only they can tell how they go to the university in the first place. This reinvesting it into their student account means they can't have access to. Even if they would ask for refund, they will only get 70%, about 70%, you see. So I think the channel through which the monies were reinvested is actually the best.
What's the best?
Some may have loans to pay for, so then I have the funds, I can just pay back the loan, I don't have to, you know. And then it was a policy that was promised, so some probably even bought forms with the hope to
they will
receive
be
the
getting
money.
their money back.
So when it comes to the reinvestment, I think the channel through which they did or through which they reinvested is actually the best.
Okay.
Secondly, I think you should be patient as to whether or not your money will be reinvested. There's only one way to find out. Just give time some time, right?
Yeah.
So let's see how it unfolds. But I also have an issue with the blanket approach with regards to the policy implementation. The fact that all students have been factored in as to whether or not the people are truly in need or they can actually afford their own fees. I think if a budget is allocated for such an initiative, the purpose of the policy is basically to enhance student experience and to help those in need to also have a fair or equitable access to tertiary education. So you have to find out who are the actual students or the people who are in need. You see, if you say everyone else should, I know majority of the people here can afford their own fees. Yes, and so they are not even bothered about whether or not the money will be sent to him, and he's one of them, actually.
He's not bothered, he's skeptical.
Yes, skeptical but not bothered, actually. Yes. So I think there should be an assessment, a need assessment, okay, going forward. They should assess the needs of the students who are enrolling in the universities, try to target those who are actually in need of the fund so that it would help us to, you know, ensure the equitability of this policy, because the DBs are able to pay their own fees and even get one in a room declaration teddy bears and other things. So if that is possible, then they should be allowed to pay their own fees. And then the Yanum children who are coming from
where the
villages,
Yanum children are?
The Yanum children are those who are unable to Antiba, you understand? They should be allowed to benefit from the government so that it will help us. The last thing I will talk about would be about the SRC vice president comment. I think he made comment about the research, like the data, getting the data wrong, the statistics wrong. Yes. So I think that with every pilot policy implementation or pilot project, there are usually these issues, okay, which comes out or which returns or comes out as feedbacks. So it is important, and I'm very grateful that CDS Africa did this initiative to even hold this discussion, because it helps us to give us feedback and to give our feedbacks so that government will take it up and then work on the issues. But then I must also say that the issues or the glitches that is associated with this policy may have been as a result of the fact that the government came into office at a time where, or they were brought into office at a time where the students were already almost on campus.
Definitely.
So I'm sure going forward, they will target reimbursing the monies or giving them the monies even before
they enter the university.
I am hoping that happens, but
I'm sure they would have listened to views shared by all the students, particularly the first year students, and they'll definitely do better going forward.
Yes. So the last thing I would like to say is that feedback is very necessary and very important. And there are a lot of people who have challenges or issues with regards to this, the implementation of this policy. So if only our voices will be heard, then the government or the appropriate bodies should take up an initiative or the initiative to invite some student, try and find out what worked right, what went wrong, and then try to improve on their services going forward.
So that definitely would have to do with NUCS, because NUCS represents the students. Okay, so
awesome, thank you.
Unfortunately, time is up. It's 6 p.m., so we have to wrap up. But before I do the wrapping up, I just want to summarize the key issues. We looked at the implementation of the no fees stress initiative. So essentially what my participants and panelists have been saying is that yes, it is for their interest, but it would have been nice if government had paid those monies or reimbursed those monies into their students' accounts instead of their respective individual accounts. So we've established that. Of course, we also heard from the SRC vice president from the University of Ghana. Yes, some have expressed some level of skepticism, but then we've also been assured by our gentleman here that once he has received his money, ultimately every other individual who has applied would also receive his or her money. So this has been CDS X Space Dialogue. We were live on Facebook and X. Until next 2 weeks when we meet again, it's bye-bye from all of us, from UPSA and from University of Ghana. Good evening.
Good evening.